Yeah, working on 2 more. I'm going to release before this June, before 2 years.
Amazing.
I like to do things intentional and create a pattern where I see one.
Yeah, for sure. Can you read off the titles? I see you have a stack of them there.
Oh, yeah, there's some of them. I have The Big Bad Wolf. This is a poetry book. It's a lot about finding your voice. And, like, I think a lot of times our issue is we have a disassociation with words and their meanings. So we take words like anger and aggression and we demonize them. We make them bad words.
Yeah.
So then when we use them, we feel bad. You know what I mean? When other people use them, we feel bad for them. You get what I'm saying? So it's the connotation. It's one of the places I would say we have to start in mental health. It's awareness. It's just knowing how you feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To me, happiness is awareness. It's not me smiling or being joyful. It's I know how I feel today. You know what I mean? And I might be tired, so I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna do something about it. That's self-care. I'm gonna take care of it. I have one called The Art of Being Still. So this is all about spirituality. This is essentially how basically we're on the move all the time. We're always in a rush. We're trying to get somewhere, and a lot of times we don't even know where or why or what we're gonna do when we get there.
Yep.
So this is how I got into meditation. I realized in my life, like, man, I'm in a rush to be married or be rich or be this or be that. And I started to learn the real power, the real strength was restraint, was stop not doing all of that, not going with the crowd, not peer pressure. You know, it was actually not doing anything at all. And that set me free. It was one of the best things I had ever done. So this is a guide essentially on, I have mantras in here, I have spells, things that I use, like days when I'm overwhelmed. How do I get myself back to balance? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because sometimes your balance is 2, but we're trying to get to 10 because we think that's where we should be.
Yeah.
And we doing more damage.
That's great, man.
I got Melanated Magic. It's Black Boy poems. It's poems speaking out to a lot of forgotten youth and arts that I feel like get misplaced, and it's giving a lot of people the recognition, but also telling everybody to be proud of who you are. You know, find goodness in who you are. A lot of times I think we only focus on our flaws instead of looking for the beauty in what we have going on.
That's awesome.
Love and Lost, another poetry book. This one is, a lot of people don't really know what love is. To me, if you haven't had love and lost it, you don't really know what love is. If love hasn't broken your heart, because once we break our heart, like, what grows from that, what opens from that is love. You know what I mean? And that sprouts the new version of who we are, a person who lives through love. And a lot of times I feel like we're in the world searching for it, and we're bargaining for it, and we're begging for it. But to look for something is you have to become it, because then you'll attract it. It'll look for you. What you're seeking for is seeking you. So everything I do is spiritual. Every way I see the world is spiritual. And honestly, it's art. So it helped me translate a lot of these books. I've been writing my whole life. I just decided, okay, now it's time to publish. I live my life very intentionally. So just because someone say jump, if I don't have a reason to jump, like, I might not jump for 10 years. You know what I mean? But when I'm jumping, you know, I got a reason.
Yeah.
I'm going somewhere, you dig? And this is The Spiritual Wolf King. This was my first book. So this book is about my life. It talks about autism, because that's what started me in mental health. Just children know other children are different. Children can spot every way that you're different. They know you hold the pencil different. They know you talk different. You walk different. Hey, why does this kid do this? They know.
Sure.
So I knew. And it forced me to get into psychology, which is just the study of the mind, understanding how the mind works. And from that route, it kind of opened my mind up, but it's hard to say it set me free in like a good connotation, because it was a dark path. It was a dark road. It was a lot of loneliness. It was the 3 stages of loneliness. At first, you're the black sheep and you're isolated just because you're different. And then the second stage is usually anger. You put yourself in isolation because of how people treated you. And then the third is intention. You choose isolation because you know right now how I am. It might not be good for the world, so I'll just stay at home from the party. Because I don't need to rain on their parade because I've been raining all day.
Sure.
And
you know
knowing
what I mean?
that is a battle, like, because I think people are now conditioned to not want to take accountability for anything. So even if you say, hey, I got an attitude, I might not need to go to this party. That's being accountable to, rather than the pressure of, no, let me be there and keep my commitment and show up, or what they're going to say. Like, both can come back and bite you, but being true to yourself will always get you further. You know, like being accountable. You know what? I feel like shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody at this party is going to be feeling not like shit. You know what I'm saying? And I can go there and infect them with my shit. Literally, I've seen that happen where it was like, dude, you came in and you swiped the whole energy out of the place, knowing good and well you have something going on with you. And you could have just stayed to yourself and got well and better and then come.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's a challenge. It's commended to take accountability, to be like, okay, wait, hold on, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Let me go
and I feel like that discernment a lot of times comes with the awareness. Like, once you start with the awareness, you start to build the discernment to realize a lot of times we are looking out for ourselves, but we're looking out for ourselves in the moment. You know what I mean? And sometimes we got to flip it and and how I look at it is, okay, me in 2 years, are they going to look back and be proud of what I'm doing here today? Right. And if they're not, I don't do it. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times we're thinking like, dang, would 9-year-old me approve of this?
Right, exactly.
9-year-old, you don't understand these ethics. You know what I mean? They want to play with their toys. You got to look in the future. Like, okay, would a mature version of me accept how I'm talking here today? How I'm acting, how I'm carrying myself. And that's self-care too. That's loving every stage that we're going to step into, even sometimes before we step into it. That's that foresight.
So let me hit on a point that you spoke on, a couple there, actually a lot, but one of the last ones that kind of resonated with me was obviously with what I'm doing here with this challenge and with the whole mission behind the Kombu Ocean, which, let me put that out there. The mission is to raise awareness for conditions and issues and situations of mental health, and to fight to eliminate the stigma. So when you said awareness, you know, in a nutshell, because that's a big thing, and there's a lot of different ways, and that's a relative term as well, right? So, you know, when you say awareness, you know, what's the best way that you can find to become aware? Let's just say of individuals. So if somebody's looking to be more aware of themselves, I'll propose a question to both of you. What is your best way to do that?
I'll start and then I'll pass it to you. Okay. I would say first, get grounded, and there's lots of ways to get grounded. The best way is going in nature barefoot, but get grounded. We have to. So what I'll explain, we have to come to a point of ego death. And what ego death is taking yourself out of all the equation, but at the same time, seeing how you are in everything. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So once we become aware of that, that's when we get into that third state of intentional isolation. We have to step away from things. We have to step away from the ball game. And me and buddies go hang out and drink. And we got to remove ourselves from all those things. Because what we're going to find out is those things are still happening even though we're not there. So we take away the obligation for us having to be there, because that's who we think we are. All of these things. I'm the bowling guy. I'm the funny guy. I'm the person that sleeps with everybody. We're all of these things. So we have to first take ourselves away from it. You know what I mean? A lot of times we're trying
That's what you mean by intentional isolation?
Yeah, intentional isolation. I remove myself. I don't answer my phone on those days. And you might lose some friends. You know what I mean? That's awareness. Becoming awareness itself. It's a lot of goodbyes you're going to have to say. Yeah. Because you realize you're trauma bound to a lot of people, or you're obligated to people.
That's powerful. Yeah, I like that.
So true.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, sis.
Oh, no, I mean, I agree with everything.
I should.
No, it's I agree with everything. I think that, I guess when you talk about awareness, when I think about me being aware of another person's mental illness, it did start with myself. It started with me understanding who I was, because then it's like you're either mirroring something, and if you're not mirroring what you're seeing in front, you're able to understand because you've done some growth, like you've done some healing in the area. So now you got something, you can empathize with the person. Yeah. So it's not like, okay, if I seen a guy walking down the street with no clothes on, I'm not gonna be like, oh damn, look at this dude, he crazy, like what's going on? I'm gonna know, I'm already be able to associate there's something going on here with this person.
Sure.
Now what's triggering it and what's motivating it, I may not know right away, but I've done enough growing that I can say, oh man, there's something going on upstairs with him. Right. So
yeah, that's big. Yeah, and for me, I definitely are on the same paragraph there with you guys as far as being more and more aware of myself and then also the situation and outside world. But yes, I think it does start with yourself, and I like that intentional isolation. I'm gonna use that word. I'm gonna
sure
steal that from you.
And it's because on a fundamental level, there's a lot of things it's hard to say to another person and them understand where you're coming from. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we're isolated, we can be 100% of ourselves, because people don't understand just their presence changes how we say things, how we move, how it changes everything about us. Even if it's a fraction, we're different. So when I'm alone, I'm me. I'm as silly as I want to be. I wear what I want. I watch what I want. I eat what I want. I'm me.
Cut half your head,
and you wouldn't notice until a draft comes in. You know what I mean? And we need that. In our growth, how I measure my growth is my reaction to these situations. Each of those stages of isolation, I reacted differently. At first, I took it personally. The second, I'm here for vendetta, revenge. The third, I was at peace. I'm like, okay, I chose this. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I enter things, a lot of what I would say awareness is, for me, is principles. I have principles about how I live, what I feel I should do, what I feel I shouldn't do. Nice. So that's how I gauge and measure myself, because sometimes we come to a slippery slope. We can feel ourselves elevated and aggressive, but I'm like, I should be like this right now. They're attacking me. You know what I mean? And your second nature is calm down. Yeah, right. So that's our discernment. It's going out and trying in life. You know what I mean? If you want to get the girl, get the girl. You want to take the trip. You want to get in the bus and go around the country. We got to make those moves, because when we look back on our life, we realize there was a lot of little pebbles in the road. And we're like, nope, not walking down that street. Yeah. And we wouldn't even have felt them. And well, you keep walking long enough, you don't even think about stuff like that. You're on this journey. So that is that awareness and seeing ourselves in it. And a lot of times the awareness is, like we were saying, is sitting out. I only talk my stuff through experience. Yeah. I can only talk to somebody and heal them if I've been through what you've been through. So my love for them and my awareness and my willingness for them to grow, if I don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to let you know in front. And I'll seem interested in you, think, but then I'll let you know, like, look, you're teaching me something new.
Exactly. And I'm going to try to help you as much as I can come through the most logical possible answer to the situation. But if I don't know something, I'm going to be quick.
Yeah, that's number one for knowing self for me, is I don't know everything. Yeah. And what I've learned through spirituality and my mentors is the smartest people know nothing. So I'm always I'm listening and I'm learning. So that's being available. All of these things are awareness, listening, learning, being available. Sure. And that's why I say we need to slow down, because we realize sometimes we just be making noise. We think we talking and it sounds good and it should be a keynote speech, but it's just a bunch of noise.
Yeah, that's a good point, because, the way things are moving, and I see it top heavy, I say top down or top heavy down because of the digital marketing company. And, I've been in the digital space since 2014. Off and on, sometimes more than not, or time spent has not been full time, but it's been a gradual progression. And I see this thing, and it's it's a really good time in the world. It seems like it's chaos, and it's a really chaotic world right now. But when you're on this side of awareness and what's this side of being positive and happy, it's going to get it's going to get worse before it gets better for the world, I think. But I think we're coming together quicker, and I see that through conversations and learning. But the digital space, the 90s, I don't know how old, if you're okay with sharing your age. I'm 46.
35.
35. 41. You're 41. So, us as that genre, the 90s
we
kids,
grew up without technology.
We were, graduated high school in the 90s, so I call us the 90s kids. we're the last decade to go through high school without cell phones. You know, we had the pagers and whatnot to get a hold of each other. So, but the world is, with the social media and all this being connected, we wouldn't have been able to do all of this and reach to reach the people that we want to reach and learn what we want to, learn and grow as we do. So it's a great time to be able to do this, but it's also dangerous. So to be still, like one of your books says, to walk around in nature barefoot, and to unplug and just let all this stuff go and not be in a hurry, because these things are training us to be in a very fast space. I mean, how quickly can you look at 10 at 100
you
pages
have all
of
the
social
information
media.
Even with the shorts, before they got, they're 7 seconds now, some are even 3, but before they got like that, it was a minute plus. They went from a minute to where, you can do 45 seconds, you can do 30, then it was like 25, then 21, then 15, and now it's down to 7. What does that mean? So they say based on the number of years that you are, that's how many minutes you should be able to focus on one thing before your attention span goes. So even with children that are 1, give them a minute, they can focus, boom, and they'll click into something else. So it's by age, right?
Yeah.
But now what they're training us to do is be able to click and focus on multiple things rapidly, which is why people have sleeping problems. I'm speaking because it's not only the blue screen. There's a you see when you're looking at the phone or your television or iPad or even like here we are in the RV. There's a digital thingy here. Anything with this. Anything that has those screens, that has a screen on it, it's a blue screen behind it. That keeps, it's like daylight, right? The sky is blue. It keeps the mind operating as though it's 10, like it's time to be up and live.
Right.
Which is why when people lay down, they're like, oh, I've got my phone. You got their phone there, the TV playing. I can't go to sleep. Well, because it's frequencies and waves going on. That's how we operate. And so the fact that you have these machines still on and percolating, your brain, your mind can't rest. You can't fall off into...
Well, I think that's great. What's great about what you guys are doing with the, going into the spot that you're at. If anybody's in Columbus, Ohio, and can get free on a Sunday, what time do you guys do that?
Well, and actually this Sunday we're doing it at a different location. So this Sunday we're doing, it's from 11 to 1, at the Milo Art Studio off of 862.
East 2nd Avenue.
East 2nd Avenue,
so we switched the locations up because each location has its own aura.
Yeah, so we're always changing it up. So y'all just want to make sure y'all following us. But right now, for the month of February, it is a free event for the whole entire family to come out and enjoy. And it's a 2-hour event. You just gotta show up. And that's one thing about mental health is that we all are dealing with some level of mental health. Like when you think about dental health, we all got teeth. We all got dental health and dental hygiene. Same with your mental health. We all have a way that we're supposed to be cleansing and retaining the mental.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that, Wally, because it's such a stigma, and that's why we're fighting so hard to eliminate the stigma. And it's a hard thing to admit that you have a diagnosis of a mental health disorder.
Right.
I have a hard time saying illness, so I shy away from it. But it's a disorder. It's a condition of our mental health, and when your life gets so disordered or wrecked because of something you can't deal with mentally, then you need to reach out, get help, get support. Whatever works. But it's something that I truly believe that we all deal with, everyone, and it's a relative scale. So it may not. It's like a functioning alcoholic. It may be, working for you to where you can have, get, a great family and job and career and everything seems fine, but you're still having, you're still dealing with something. Everybody deals with something.
Yeah.
So
And I think that it's the Western culture, I believe, that makes us think that if you live a certain type of way, you deal with nothing here. And that's not true. It's actually, you're just happen to just be a being. Yeah. Being human means you got shit to deal with. It's that simple. You have things that you have to deal with when it comes to, but it's growth, it's accountability to self, because sometimes my mental health, I guess what you would classify as a diagnosis, is not on the front of my face.
Right.
I don't always wear what's going on with me mentally out in front of the world.
We're all good actors at some level.
And I want to say part of it is, okay, I lived a part of my life acting, but I'm talking about in terms of managing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. So, not necessarily acting as though it's nothing wrong, but managing whatever is going on.
Sure.
So I think that when you talk about the scale, that we all deal with something on some level, the scale is heightened by what's happening on the inside of the temple. So whether that's food related, like we talked about, people not getting rest, people who don't get enough sleep cannot get up and function at 100%.
Right.
Period. If you're not getting enough food or the right food, you can't expect your body to be like, okay, well now let me go and do this hardcore ass stupid job that I don't like and force my body in captivity. You almost like holding your body prisoner, like go do this now, even though I'm not gonna give you what you need to perform, but I'm expect you to perform.
Yeah,
right.
And and then you got upbringing, you got the perception, you got everything that shaped your mind, everything that shaped your mind up until this point.
Yeah. I think hard line is perception, and when our perception changes is typically when we experience something, when we learn about it, our perception about it changed. So that's the beginning of the program. It's how they program us to think about certain words and certain concepts. You get what I'm saying? So like you were saying, absolutely everyone's dealing with something mentally, because the goal is not to be healed. That's not possible. Everyone will forever be healing. That's why you got to do the work. Because then when you love to do the work, you'll always know to do the work no matter which pitch you get in. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why when we get like the Gandhis, the Mother Teresas, these are people who went through the most. And they went through so many holes. They're like, what's the worst that can happen? Exactly. They don't worry about anything no more. Because the things that they thought would break them, here they are. You get what I mean?
Perception is a good thing. And this is leads me into a good segue of something I like to ask my guests here on the Calm Blue Ocean podcast and it's a yes or no question, and we can dive into it a little bit after the fact. But I'm going to propose this question and let both of you answer. There's no right or wrong answer. It's not a rhetorical question because it's your question. So think of a snow globe, right? Mm-hmm. You have a snow globe. It's your snow globe. Everything you got going on in your world and all that stuff is your snow globe. I'll ask Wally first. Can you see inside and outside of your snow globe at one spark of the moment in time?
One spark of a moment in time.
An instant. Can you just boom, like that spark? Can you see inside and outside at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. You got yes?
I would say no.
You said no? Okay. I say yes because the reason why I say yes is because, as I have worked through a personality of or a diagnosis of, or a mental health condition of bipolar, in situations that I've been in, getting into mental institutions, hospitalization stays, been in jail many, many times for just not being able to control my emotions and this and that. And affecting and realizing that I've affected my family and my parents to the nth degree. And I've been looking inside and outside of my snow globe, and I've been going back and forth and analyzing and thinking and wondering and all questioning over and over again. Well, at that spark of the moment, that very thin film of that snow globe that I have in my world really dissipates. So yes, I feel like I can see inside and outside of that one very instant spark of the moment. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it as far as a perception.
I can see that.
What's going on with my lighting in here?
It's for the show, the band lit.
Yeah,
Bus is like, y'all
energy.
talking.
we're draining the energy out of the.
I guess I was saying yes only because, like, in a split second, can I see myself outside holding what's happening on the inside? Yes, I can. In a split second, I can see. I definitely can see that.
I can see that.
So he said in the,
Yeah, like
now, you asking me to stand there
for me, I say no because I believe we can only focus on one thing at a time. Okay. And I think a lot of times we underestimate how powerful our brain is, and something's happening that we think is happening, but really something else is happening. Yeah. And I think of it like the concept if someone asked you if you were looking in the mirror and they asked you, are you looking at yourself and your reflection? What would you say?
I don't know.
Because to me, you're only looking at your reflection. We can't look at ourselves. That's how we're designed.
I mean,
but that's just you're looking at your reflection in the mirror. You're not looking at you in the mirror.
Right, but I'm saying you would still have. Yeah, what you saying though? You talk about like outside the body. You saying I ain't looking at it with your eyes? Is that what you saying?
No, I'm saying you're not seeing. You think you're seeing two things because you understand that you're looking into a mirror, but the only thing you're focused on is your reflection because we cannot see ourselves. So that will never be a possibility. So you think you can see yourself because you're in the mirror, but that's just your reflection.
That's true.
Because if you touch you ain't touching you in the mirror.
The mirror could be a little bit, warped or cracked.
Exactly.
The perception. So
that's how I look at the snow globe in the point of when I think meditation, the snow globe is designed is for you to focus on something because the universe is vast. So if you just look at the universe, you would never see a snow globe. You might see a star. You might see a planet. But it would take you to it would take supreme discipline for you to just focus and you can see vastly. Yeah. We can look, up to a mile or two? Mm-hmm. So to focus your eye, it's like when you look at a fly. Yeah. Everything else around that is a blur. You just see that fly and things, a flower's there, so your mind can do a little flower. The sunset's there, so your mind is like, okay. It's like when we're dreaming. It's just a projection of what you think you know.
Sure. Yeah, no, I like that. And that's a question that I've proposed myself and other people, and it's just it's perception, and it's that's what I think is worth discussing more on a day-to-day basis is people's perception of whatever it may be, because we see different things from different sides, and
it taints mental health because we don't have enough context. Someone will give you one object and say, here, perception. But perception has to be multiple options, just like choices and options. It has to be more than one. It can't just be one. That's not a choice or an option.
Which is sad because they started with big time diagnosing people that had dealt with all these different things. Yeah. So even though they can have all the same diagnosis, they all got different problems at home that triggered whatever the main diagnosis is. So
absolutely.
And it works for us, so they can't fully demonize it. This is why now they're just prescribing medicine to suppress it, and they're not really saying let's get rid of mental health. They're saying, let's deal with it, but in a way, all right, I'm just going to give you this placebo and take care of it. And it's because it lives within our society. We talked about this on our show. Most CEOs are sociopaths and psychopaths. They don't want to admit these kind of things, but it's true. Most doctors and stuff have ADHD. It's true. Absolutely. Look at how they function. Look at the type of job that they would have.
Minds, if you think about a history of all these big things that have happened from electricity that seems to be going out right now.